All right, welcome back. Getting really tired of introductions, so let's just jump right into chapter 6, huh? Chapter 6, A Flight in the Night. It was well into the night when Daniel woke. Looking around at the dark, gloomy, sleeping cave, he could make out the shape of a familiar sandwing sleeping on an upper ledge that Daniel hadn't noticed. It appeared to be covered in a yellow brownish material that however, looked, however, everyone's what? Okay, another typo. However, everyone's favorite grumpy icewing was nowhere to be seen. Where's Winter? I hope he didn't get too scared from what happened before. Daniel thought with a hint of regret. I should find him. Maybe make sure he doesn't run off like he did in the books. How quietly Daniel crept out of the cave, careful not to take the snoring sandwing. Not to wake the snoring sandwing. My bad. Upon exiting the cave into the long hallway, he realized how peaceful the school was at night. Firelit torches gleamed in the hallway as decoratively cut holes in the walls served as windows for letting the moonlight from the three moons into the mountain. Oh, wow. The three moons together look amazing. Much better than Earth's moon. Daniel found himself admiring the moons for a few minutes before snapping back to reality. Snap back to reality. Wait, where am I going? What am I doing? I need to find Winter. Soon he began to rush through the hall as fast as his inexperienced four-legged running would let him, which is to say, not very fast. He could probably run faster as a human than a dragon at the moment. Damn it, I don't have time for this. Suddenly Daniel came up with the risky idea, but it was the only way to traverse the corridor quickly if he wanted to find Winter soon. Screw it, I need to find him. Daniel spread his wings and took off. Instantly, his speed quickened to probably 8 times the speed he was going initially. Daniel was sure to follow the torches out as he dodged and weaved his way through. Some sharp rocks popped out now and then, which made it slightly difficult to traverse the corridor safely. Not to mention, it was already extremely tight. He was just barely missing the edge of the walls, which threatened to take his wings off. Threading the needle, he kept flying straight ahead towards oblivion until a larger room came into view up ahead. Daniel soon blasted through the room, past the solitary icewing sitting on the Jade Mountain entrance, and out into the night sky. Guess I found him. The cold air felt amazing on his scales as he proceeded to do a few fighter jet tricks he saw once back in his own dimension. Barrel rolls, flips, and deep dives were just to name a few of them. However, he soon realized the main reason he came out there to begin with. He soon remembered the main reason he came out there to begin with. Right, Winter. Circling back to the main entrance, he landed beside the lonely Icewing, who was staring at him in astonishment. What the moons was that? Winter exclaimed. Shh! Daniel whispered, quickly covering Winter's snout with a talon. You don't want to wake everyone in the school, do you? Mm-hmm. Winter retorted. Oh, right, sorry. Daniel said, taking his talon off Winter's mouth. What was that? Winter said more quietly this time. Oh, that's just me having a flight, that's all. You know, being a skywing, it's kind of my thing. Daniel gave a shy smile. No, I know that. I mean, like, how are you flying so fast? I've never seen a skywing, or a dragon for that matter, fly as fast as that. Oh, really? I thought it was just normal to fly that fast. Winter shook his head quickly. Oh, well then, I guess that's something. Daniel laughed. Why are you here, Hurricane? Winter asked in a sadder and softer voice. Huh? You heard me. You have ears, don't you? Winter retorted sadly. Oh, yeah, I do. But what I mean is, how do you know my name? I never told you it. After you fell asleep, Keebley walked in and asked why you were there, and I told him you were a new clawmate, which is when he told me your name. I see. He also told me how fast you fly. I didn't believe it at first, but when you came barreling through the lobby, I realized that the sand storage was right. Winter gave a small chuckle, which immediately caught Daniel's attention. As far as I remember, Winter never really laughs at anything, which means he's dealing with something. Maybe his parents, the ranks, or his brother even. But it's clear that something is wrong with him. Daniel analyzed the ice wing before asking, Hey, Winter, what's wrong? Daniel looked in a soft and support Daniel asked in a soft and supportive voice. Winter looked up at him. Daniel's eyes widened as he saw Winter was on the edge of shedding tears. Holy Winter, are you okay? Daniel said he was worried for him. He'd never seen anywhere in the books about this. Why do you care? Winter snapped. Because you're my clawmate. Now I'll make sure you're all right, Daniel said. He didn't think it was safe to state them as friends yet, especially after yesterday's incident. I should probably apologize for that. I'm sorry, Winter. Winter shot him a confused look. Sorry for what? I'm sorry for yesterday's interaction. I know we get off on the wrong side of things, so maybe we can just forget and move on, Daniel said hopefully. Winter stared at him for a few seconds before speaking. I accept your apology. Thanks, mate. Daniel smiled. Don't push it. Right, sorry. But seriously, what's wrong? It's nothing. You should head back. I'll be out here for a while, Winter said. A small tear ran down his cheek, but he either didn't notice it or didn't care. Daniel, however, did. You said you wanted to see what this was, right? Daniel asked as he offered him the map. Winter stared at him skeptically before turning his attention to the map in hand. Is this a joke? Winter asked, uncertain if he should take the scroll in Daniel's talons. Not at all. I'll even show it to you, Daniel said as he sat down next to Winter and unscrolled the map in front of him. Whoa, Winter exclaimed as he picked it up. This is a detailed map. Where'd you get this? Oh, a friend gave it to me for my travels. Ah, right. All right, Winter said before he rolled up the map and gave it back to Daniel. Anyway, like I said before, you should go back to sleep. I'll be out here for a while, Winter said. Daniel wasn't exactly happy with Winter's answer. He wanted to get to know him, but Winter just pushed him away. Maybe something else might work. Hey, let's go flying, Daniel said, offering a talon to Winter. I don't know what's wrong, but maybe a little night flight can help with it. What's the point? I don't want to. And even if I did, I wouldn't be able to help. I wouldn't be able to keep up with you. True. You wouldn't be able to. Winter's wings drooped a little, as if he was kind of disappointed. So he does want to fly. But you could if I taught you a few of my tricks, Daniel said cheerfully. Winter looked up. Tricks? You have tricks to flying? Well, of course. There's a reason that you haven't seen a dragon fly as fast as me before, Daniel lied, in the hope of convincing him to join. So, you up for a little flying lesson? Or are you just going to sit there and continue being depressed? Fine. I'll come join you. But I'll have you know that I have little hope that this will work, Winter said as he got up. Sweet! Follow me, Daniel cheered. Soon, both dragons were running towards the entrance before gliding down onto the grass below. All right, Winter, I'm going to teach you everything I know in the next hour. You'll be able to fly so fast, you'll part the cloud. You'll be able to fly so fast, you'll part clouds like I did earlier. Daniel pointed to the rip in the clouds, which miraculously was still visible. Wow. Winter looked over to see what he was pointing at. You did that? Winter asked in awe. Yep. And you'll be able to as well, on one condition, Daniel said. Whatever you need, said Winter excitedly, now seeing what he would be able to do. After we're done, you'll tell me exactly what's bothering you. No funny business. Every detail. Daniel spoke seriously. Winter looked at him for a bit, before reluctantly agreeing. Very well, then. Let's begin. Daniel taught Winter everything. Baron had once taught him less than 24 hours ago, including taking off and landing, as he soon realized that Winter took off and landed differently from him, and it was definitely holding him back. Winter, when you take off, I want you to first jump as high as you can, and then tuck your legs before untucking them. It'll boost you higher, Daniel instructed him. Without other words, Winter did as Daniel said, and was soon faced with noticeable changes, as he was launched about 3 times higher into the air. Whoa! Winter yelled. That's what I said, too, on my first time, Daniel laughed. But you can see the difference, right? Yeah, for sure, Winter gasped. Don't worry, that was just the beginning of the lesson. Let's continue with landing. I want you to boost yourself into the air like before and come down for a landing. However, in order to land faster, I want you to almost dive towards the ground before opening your wings to catch air about 20 to 30 meters off the ground. Winter nodded and took off into the sky. Gaining height, he started circling above before semi-diving, before spreading his wings like Daniel said. It worked better than he expected, as Winter almost immediately came to a full stop. It went like this for a while. Winter learned to keep his balance with his legs tucked in while flying, which allowed him to fly, not quite, but almost as fast as Daniel. He was also able to do a few skywing tricks, which leveled up his flying capabilities. Leveled up, huh? He's a fast learner. If he was born a skywing, he would probably be faster than me by now, Daniel thought. Winter soon returned from his flight. Well, that worked, Winter said, giving off one of his extremely rare smiles. What's left to learn? There's one last thing to learn, Daniel started. However, I don't know if I should teach you it. Winter's smile faded into slight anger. Why not? Do you think I'm not capable? Do you think I'm capable? Wait. Why not? Do you not think I'm capable? No, it's not that. Then what is it? Winter barked, angry. I nearly died while trying it, okay? Daniel shouted. Winter's face froze. You nearly died? Yeah, Daniel said, remembering his multiple close calls while diving through the mountains and forests. I don't want something to happen to you, Winter. You're probably the fastest skywing in all of Pyrea, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to stop now. No. Excuse me? I said no. I've come too far not to finish this lesson, Winter said, filled with a strong determination. You're willing to risk your life for this? Daniel asked, baffled. No doubts. Daniel let out a long sigh. Very well then. Follow me. The 2 dragons flew up and up, past the trees, past the mountains, past the landscapes, and eventually past the clouds. There was nothing above the clouds except for the stars, moons, and the 2 of them. All right, we're here, Daniel said. Do we need to be this high? Winter asked, rethinking his choices. Yes. If not, this will end really badly, Daniel said. This is your final warning, Winter. After you begin it, it will be very difficult to stop. You will get close to the ground. It'll be very difficult to stop unless you get close to the ground. Yeah, I was right the first time. Are you certain you want to go ahead with this? Positive. All right. Then since there's no talking you out of it, this is your final lesson. After this, you'll have learned all my flying secrets and probably be able to fly fast enough to part the clouds. Daniel took a deep breath. I want you to dive from here back to the ground. Make sure to tuck in your wings and legs to gain speed. Do whatever you must and take whatever route you need. Good luck, Winter. You're on your own now. With that, Daniel dived underneath the clouds, leaving Winter alone with his thoughts on what to do next. And that is the end of the chapter, except for the author's note at the very bottom. Hey, everyone. I had some extra time on my hands, so I decided to write the chapter today. I'll probably write half of the next chapter today as well, so I can get it out tomorrow, but no promises. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good day. Feel free to comment or give me constructive criticism on what I can do better. With, in parentheses, not too harsh, please. And I'll hopefully see you again within the next 48 hours. Peace. So, the Daniel started a sort of friendship with Winter. He taught him how to fly, or taught him all his flying tricks, and yeah, that was about it. On an unrelated note, I never understood like the whole three moons thing, because there's that one orbital thing where it's like three celestial bodies orbiting something produces like random orbital orbits. So yeah, the moons would probably crash into each other, or the planet. But we suspend our scientific thinking when reading fantasy novels. It's part of the fun. Anyway, see you later.